Hello everyone, Dr. Tom here, and this video is going to help me explain to you, what I expect in the discussion boards, because my goal is that everyone can get an A plus. And many of these criteria really aren't quality focused. They're focused on how many and when, which I'm not crazy about, but in what we found with Success Academy candidates is that they are stressed for time and that they need some guidance as to, okay, how many do I have to do? How often do I have to do it? So much of this discussion board rubric falls into those categories. So I'm going to go over those parts, and then I'm going to go over what I think is more important, what I expect in your posts, in your initial posts, and in your response posts. Okay, so let's first talk about participation and timelines. I have the rubric right up here, so we'll talk about it. Each discussion board lasts for 2 sessions. Now, this is an 8-week course, so each session is 4.5 days. So you actually have 5 days for each section because there's an overlap on that 4.5 day. So the first day, the first session doesn't end until midnight of the 5th day. The second session starts the morning of that 5th day. So there's an overlap there. So there's 4.5 days for each session. So over the course of 2 sessions, so the discussion board lasts for 2 sessions, you must participate in the discussion on at least 3 different days. So that's out of 8 days, you have to participate 3. I don't think that's a lot. If I were designing this course, I would, in my online, my courses, Turo courses, I have two-week courses, and people have to participate on at least 6 different days. So 3 days is not asking a lot. So that's how you get an advanced, a 3, and the discussion board. Participate 3 out of the 8 days. This next one has been added this semester because many colleagues wait until the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or the last, in this 8-week course, it's not necessarily Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but the last 3 days of the session. That's when people wait. They make their initial post on the 6th day. They make another post, a couple more posts on the 7th day, and then they make the majority of their posts on the last day. Well, the reason we have this in here now is that in order to create a discussion, which is what we're trying to do, is that I can't have a discussion with you, or your colleagues can't have a discussion with you when you post 6 times on the last day of the session, all of them after 11 o'clock at night. And that happens. And if that's what you want to do, then you're going to end up getting a 1 in this category for every single discussion board. Your initial post has to be in the first 2 days of when the session starts. So your first initial post has to be in the first 2 days of the session, and then the second initial post has to be within the first 2 days of the second session. So that would be day 5 and day 6. So in order to get a 1 in there, so you have to do it for both. So if 1 is in the first 2 days and 1 is in the last day, you're not going to get full credit for this criteria. Let's talk about your initial post, because this is what most people tend to do very mechanically. Candidates respond to the guiding questions prompted by synthesizing information from the course text and citing at least 3 specific points. Okay, I have an exemplar here that I'm going to show you. Actually, I have a couple of exemplars, one of strong and one of weak work. You'll notice that this is the first discussion board questions. And you'll notice there are 3 questions here, and in each one there are referencing our text, which is what you want to do. One of the things I don't want to see is just pasting quotes into these sections to answer your questions. That's not what I call a good response. So you'll notice that you have to use APA format. This is the proper way to cite our text the first time. This is the proper way to cite it every time after that. Now, many people are not using appropriate APA format. In this case, you don't have to cite Chapaway at all in the same paragraph. What you should do is just put a page number here. And that's important because then I know you're referencing the text. Okay, in the second question, this is appropriate, Chapaway et al. And then for here, you should put a page number. Now, the next part is the one where a lot of people fall down on. What ways, in almost every discussion board, the third question or the last question is about how does this apply to you as a teacher at Success Academy. This is a summer course, so you've all been in the classroom. This isn't like your first attempt. So all of you should have pretty good answers to this connecting to your classroom. Try to be critical about this. Okay, a lot of people are, so especially first and second year Success Academy teachers are so kind of gung-ho that we're doing everything. We're perfect. Well, nobody's perfect. You guys do a great job, but look at it critically. So how could we improve in this area? How are we using examples of poor and weak work? And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm showing you examples of strong and weak work. This is a strong piece. This person got 100 on the first discussion board. Now, I'm going to show you another initial post that is what I'm talking about, where the person just cuts and pastes quotes in here. And that's not what I'm looking for. Here's a quote here. Here's a quote. Where's another quote? There's a quote here. And I don't want to see you cutting and pasting quotes. There's another quote down here, and I don't know how long it is. It looks like it's a long one. So what this person has done is just take little snippets and throw them in and weave some general comments in, and that doesn't tell me It tells me that you know how to cut and paste quotes. And when you do that, there should be a page number. So this page number here should be up here right after the quote. So I don't want to see a lot of quotes. If you use a lot of quotes, you're going to lose points because that's not synthesizing the information, which is what it says in the rubric. You need to prompts by synthesizing information for course text. Cutting and pasting is not synthesizing information. So in each initial post, you have to cite at least 3 specific points from the text. So if there's 3 questions, that's pretty easy. You do 3 citations for each in each section. So that's what I expect from initial post. Questions posed. This is a gift. You get if you over the course of 2 sessions, if you ask 3 questions, insightful questions. I would recommend doing 2 and 2, 2 in your first initial post and 2 in your second initial post. I would do it in your initial post because you notice this. I think this person didn't do it. So what this person's going to have to do is somewhere along the line, she's going to have to do it. Ask 3 questions somewhere else. So I would add those initial posts to those questions, insightful questions, to your initial post. That's my recommendation. All right, let's go back to the rubric and talk about response quality. This is where a lot of people fall down on because they have a tendency to make connections, which is the next to last makes connections in at least 3 posts. So the key is that you have to have at least 5 or more responses to other learners. So you have to have 2 initial posts and 5 responses to other learners. So that's 7 posts in 8 days. Um, so the, the tricky part for people is that these 5 responses have to be supported with evidence from course texts. That's where people fall down on. And so what you need to do, and I'm going to go back to this person here and show you what a typical response is. I'm going this person, you can see I'm trying to avoid using that person's name, but she has she put her name here. She signed it. You don't have to sign your things. Your name comes up in the discussion board title. But what Jen has done here is she's used the text to answer the question. She says, "Hi, Alyssa, great question. I'd like to respond." And she goes in and responds to the question, but she uses the text to do it. Now, if it's our text, you don't have to cite it. You can just, but this is what I look for. I look for a citation in your text, so you're referring to our text, or even better, finding a relevant article in course material, in my additional resources to support your guide. I have given you information that can help you go deeper into the course. You can see here to get you have to at least one additional relevant text or website so not only do you have to do 5 posts, but you have to find at least one additional relevant text or website. I have helped you with this, and I will show you exactly where to go to get that help. And it's over here in additional resources, and I have them for every session. You can see this is not this course, but I have resources for every session. I think I've done the first 2 sessions in our course. So you click on the resources, and there's all kinds of articles here. Student self-assessment. This is Rick Stiggins, one of our authors. Interview with Emily by Judy Arter. She's another one of our authors. The 7 Strategies of Assessment for Learning, which is a good article that supports exactly what's going on. Here are 60 formative assessments for checks for understanding. These are for you. This is information that you should download, save, keep for your classroom. And this is the art and science of teaching, the many uses of exit slips. This is an article by educational guru Rob Marzano, and many of you use exit slips, so this is where you can find relevant, because I've added them for every session, and I'm going to talk about some of these articles as well, especially assessment literacy in our first discussion board. So that's what I'm looking for that rubric. For the supported by evidence from the course text. Okay, so you have to build upon learners' perspectives and questions. So naturally, that's why we have you ask questions, because that's going to generate your conversation, and then you're going to support it by text. And what I encourage is an inquiry-based discussion board. Is that, if you don't know the answer to a question, or if you're looking to answer someone else's question, try to go online and find that answer. There are many good websites. Edutopia is a great one. You'll see a lot of my resources have Edutopia articles. The Teaching Channel is another one that has all kinds of great videos. So those are good sites to use, how-to sites, that give you good ideas on classroom management and things like that. So that's what I'm looking for. Connections to self, most of you do that. Mostly everybody gets a 3 in this category, because most of you are all talking about your own classrooms, how to make it better. So that I don't really have to go into. This last one, your posts have to be written with correct grammar, punctuation, spelling, and sentence structure. Most people do that. Use spell check. I would I would use Microsoft Word or Pages and then cut and paste because you can use spell check. Although Blackboard has a spell check as well. So no one should have any grammar or punctuation mistakes. So that's how you can get an A+.